Welcome to the deep dive on QR code scam. I'm Alex and my co-host is James. Today, following a full-blown alarm by the FBI, we're taking a close look at something that's so deeply part of our daily lives we often use it without even thinking. It's the QR code.
Yes, totally. I mean, scanning a menu, ordering coffee, paying for parking, getting event info. These little black and white squares are like the ultimate shortcut, right? Pure convenience.
Yes, totally frictionless. That's the design. What if that super helpful instant access point is actually, well, a trap? What if criminals have weaponized it, turning our everyday convenience into a real vulnerability? Well, that's the core issue we're seeing emerge.
Exactly. So today we're diving into this whole world of quishing, as the QR scam is called. In this deep dive, we're going to unpack what quishing actually is. Look at the really quite devastating real-world impacts, both financial and personal.
Yes, we'll identify the latest trends, how these scams are evolving, and most importantly, give you the knowledge to protect yourself. At face value, QR codes seem harmless. We use them for menus, payments, even event check-ins. So people rarely think twice before scanning.
Right, and QR codes seem harmless. We use them for menus, payments, event check-ins, etc. So people rarely think twice before scanning. But scammers are counting on that. Once you scan, you could be redirected to phishing sites, malware downloads, or forms asking for info. Okay, so let's start right there. Get a clear picture. We all use QR codes, but how exactly do they get weaponized? What does that even mean in practice?
It's a really critical question, because the very simplicity of a QR code is what makes it so attractive for criminals. A QR code, or quick response code. It's basically a 2D barcode. Your phone camera scan it. Boom. Takes you instantly somewhere. Website, app, payment page, a file. They're built for speed, for ease, a direct path. No messing about.
Okay, standard stuff we all know, right? Now think about traditional phishing. That's when scammers contact you by email, text, maybe a phone call, trying to trick you. They want sensitive info. Passwords, credit card numbers, bank details. The key is deception. The intent to steal.
Got it. So quishing is just the mashup. It's QR code phishing. And instead of a clickable link in an email you might be suspicious of, scammers embed malicious links inside QR codes, and that makes them way harder to spot as dangerous up front, unlike emails and text messages, if you know what to look for.
Ah, right. You can't just hover your mouse over a QR code on a poster to see where it leads.
Exactly. That's the problem. Because when you scan these dodgy codes, they often direct users to phishing websites designed to steal credentials and personal information. And because QR codes are now everywhere physically and digitally, this reinvented phishing scam is a growing threat to consumers. It really exploits our trust in this familiar technology.
Wow. So it's the ultimate bait and switch hiding something nasty behind that everyday convenience. Okay, that definition gives us an idea. But the real alarm bells ring when you look at the impact, the real-world devastation these scams are causing. These aren't just like theoretical risks, are they? People are losing a huge amount of money.
Oh, absolutely. The figures are quite stark and honestly pretty worrying. Action Fraud, that's the UK's fraud reporting service, received 784 reports of quishing between April 2024 and April 2025. And that led to almost £3.5 million lost just to this specific type of scam.
£3.5 million. That's wild. Let's break this amount down in old money. That's more than 2 incidents every single day, costing Brits a staggering £10,000 a day just from fake QR codes.
Yes, it is. And what's really concerning, Naomi Grossman from Vinci Works, a compliance software firm, warned this figure is almost certainly an underestimate. Why is that?
Because many victims don't even connect the dots. They don't realise the QR code was the starting point until maybe much later when they see weird charges or fines pop up. She emphasises that reports are rising sharply into 2025, meaning the true scale is probably much bigger than what's officially reported. A lot of it likely goes under the radar until the damage is done.
That's a really chilling thought that the numbers we see are just like the tip of the iceberg, because people don't even know how they got scammed initially. It really shows how insidious these things are. So, how does it escalate? How does one scan of a QR code turn into this complete financial and identity nightmare we hear about? What are the steps in between?
It can be incredibly fast and, well, ruthless. Take that story from The Independent, the really impactful one of the 71-year-old woman at Thornaby train station. She scanned what looked like a totally normal car park QR code to pay. Right, just paying for parking, something millions do daily.
Exactly. But that tiny interaction, it wasn't just about losing a few pounds for parking, it spiraled. After she put her details into that fake site, the scammers had enough information, namely name, address, some bank details to then impersonate her to her actual bank.
Oh, wow! They managed to set up online banking in her name, change her address so she wouldn't get mail alerts. And the worst part, they took out a £7,500 loan in her name.
£7,500 just from scanning a parking QR code. Just from that initial scan, she ended up, in her words, locked out of her accounts, living on her son's help, and enduring sleepless nights.
The speed is key. That first data capture from the fake site gives them the foothold. Then they use that stolen info, maybe combine it with other data they find online. They trick the real institutions into thinking they are the victim.
It's incredible that insight about how a tiny interaction, paying for parking, can just unravel into full-blown identity theft, huge financial loss, and real personal distress. It really hits home. It's easy to think, oh, that won't happen to me, but these scams are creeping into the most mundane parts of life.
So where are these fake QR codes actually popping up most often? And what are the new tricks scammers are using? Good question. They're constantly adapting, and the physical world is definitely a major hunting ground.
Action Fraud says car parks are the #1 hotspot for quishing. Fraudsters literally just slap fake QR code stickers over the real payment machines. Just stick them right on top.
Right on top. And this is backed up by the Bureau of Investigative Journalism, which carried out a Freedom of Information requests across the UK. Out of 373 councils that replied, 123 said their car parks had been targeted in the past year. It's incredibly widespread.
And the nasty thing about car park scams is that double whammy effect. First, you give your personal and financial details to the scammers. Second, because you didn't actually pay the real parking fee, you often get hit with a penalty charge notice later on.
Oh, that's adding insult to injuries. You get scammed and fined.
Exactly. Super frustrating for victims. But it's not just out there in public. Scammers are bringing these tactics right to our doorsteps too. We're seeing new methods emerge. The FBI actually put out a warning recently about criminals mailing out unsolicited packages people never ordered.
Well, often there's nothing inside except a printed QR code. No product, maybe no sender info. Just this mysterious QR code in a box.
Yep. And when someone scans it, out of curiosity, it sends them to a fraudulent website. These sites are designed purely to harvest sensitive personal information, banking details, credit card numbers, login details. They often look identical to legitimate sites, making them really hard to spot.
So they mimic real companies perfectly sometimes. Or even worse, scanning the code might directly install malicious software malware onto your phone or device. This stuff can track everything you do, steal data directly, monitor your accounts, log your keystrokes, even go after cryptocurrency wallets if you have them. It's a crushing digital invasion triggered by a simple QR code scan at a car park.
And why does this work? Just curiosity. Pretty much scammers know QR codes are common. And unlike a dodgy link in an email, the code itself reveals nothing until you scan it. That mystery of an unexpected package, no sender. It sparks curiosity. As the FBI notes, people want to know what is this or who sent this, or is it a prize? They scan the code wanting answers and boom, they're in the trap.
This brings up a crucial question. How do we even navigate this? How do we use this convenient tool when it's also become a vector for fraud? How do we protect ourselves?
That is the core challenge. And it really comes down to injecting a moment of caution, since quishing banks on our impulse to act quickly. We see a code, we scan. but a moment's caution is all it takes to outwit the scammers and protect both your money and your peace of mind. It's about intentional pausing.
Okay, slowing down. That sounds simple, but in the moment. Still, there are practical steps, right? Things people can do right now.
Absolutely. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge and, a healthy bit of skepticism. There are definitely specific safeguards. Let's break those down. Where do we start?
Okay, first things first. The tool you use to scan. 1. Use your phone's built-in scanner. Your phone's own camera app, or its dedicated QR scanner, is usually much more secure than downloading a random third-party QR app.
Why is that? Are those third-party apps risky? For example, they might ask for excessive permissions, track your data, or just not have the same security updates as your phone's native system. Stick with the default. It's safer and simpler.
Good tip. Okay, what else?
Do add mobile protection or antivirus software. Reputable security software on your phone isn't foolproof, but it can act as another layer. It might detect and block a malicious link before you even get to the fake site, like a safety net.
3. Be really wary of public QR codes that look tampered with, especially on things like parking meters or payment terminals. Look closely. Is it a sticker placed over another code? Does the surface look uneven? Does it just feel off? If you have any doubt at all, just do not scan it. Trust your gut feeling on that one.
Definitely. 4. If you're unsure, go direct. Don't use the QR code. Just open your browser and type in the official website address for the company or service yourself. Paying for parking. Find the provider's official site and pay there. Bypass the code entirely.
5. Check URLs carefully after scanning. This is super important. Your phone usually shows you the web address before it opens. Stop. Look at it. Are there misspellings, random numbers, weird characters? Is it a shortened link that hides the real destination? Look really closely at the main domain name, the bit before the first slash. Does it look right? So don't just click open immediately.
Right. 6. Caution with any unsolicited codes. A QR code is just a disguised link. If one arrives out of the blue mystery delivery, random flyer, weird poster, treat it with extreme suspicion. Don't let curiosity override caution. Avoid scanning it.
7. Stick to trusted sources. Scan codes from businesses you already know and trust, preferably within their official apps or verified communications. Your airline boarding pass QR code in their app, probably fine. A code taped to a lamppost, much riskier.
8. Limit your digital footprint. This is more general, but helps. Consider using data removal services to get your info off those people search websites. Less data out there makes it harder for scammers to target you effectively or impersonate you.
Exactly. 9. Enable two-factor authentication or 2FA. This is crucial for banking, email, any important accounts. Even if scammers get your password, 2FA adds that second layer, usually a code, to your phone, stopping them from getting in.
Absolutely. 10. Keep your devices updated. Those software updates aren't just new features. They often contain vital security fixes for vulnerabilities that criminals exploit. Keep your phone's OS and apps up to date.
And finally, 11. Report suspicious activity. If you get one of those weird packages with just a QR code, or you see a public code that looks clearly tampered with, report it. Tell local authorities or the FBI's Internet Crime Complaints Center if you're in the US. Your report helps track these guys.
Seems like awareness and just taking that extra second to think are key. We've covered a lot today. Defined quishing, looked at the really quite frightening personal impact, the new trends, and crucially how to defend ourselves.
So here's something to think about. Next time you see a QR code at a restaurant, car park, maybe even on an unexpected delivery, will you pause? Or just trust the convenience like always? Question. What stands out to you from this deep dive into quishing? And maybe what's one small thing you'll change about how you interact with QR codes going forward?
So to you, our listeners, that's it for today. Thanks for sticking with us as we waded through what's clearly a new weapon in the scammer's armory, QR codes. And thanks to James for another great session. If you found this podcast informative, Please hit the subscribe button for more personal finance and anti-scam podcasts.
Alex, it was a privilege. Thanks to our listeners, please be vigilant and be careful out there.